The slides say it's time for our uncommon campfire conversation. I always follow the slides. You know that, right? Okay, maybe not always. Okay, so I'm going to stand here for a minute because those of you who are watching online, I'm going to apologize because I roam while I do this. You will hear me, but you might not see me. So, first thing we have to do is check our mailbox, see what we got. Oh, we have mail. That's good. Oh. Huh. All right, let's see. This is what's in our mailbox. What is that? See, this is why I have to roam around, because no one is quite sure. Let's see if we can figure out what's in our mailbox. All right. What do you think? What does that look like? This is not a trick question. Think meta, not detail. Think big. We're looking at the big picture. It's a picture. Clearly, I didn't pick the right icon for that. Okay, so it's supposed to be a Polaroid. It's a picture. All right. When you have a picture of something. Anybody keep scrapbooks here? Nobody? Nobody keeps photo albums? Carrie, when you look through your photo album and you see a picture, what do you sometimes do? Again, not a trick question. Remember. You remember. You tell a story. Anybody have that experience? You look at a picture and you tell a story, right? Because it reminds us. So that's part of what we're encouraging you to do around the uncommon campfire. We're going to tell stories, and that's part of what Reshape is going to encourage us to do, is to tell stories. But there's a really specific thing about the stories we're going to tell. We're going to talk about what gave us life. Because it's tricky. The stories you tell make your reality. Did you know that? Right? If any of you have studied psychology at all, right, that's in there. And you can reframe your stories to change how they're working for you. And you know what churches love to tell stories about? What's wrong with them? Churches love to tell stories about what's wrong with them. Or what's wrong with the other people, which makes it wrong with them. None of you have ever heard a story about what's wrong with this place. I know we're perfect, but, right? Those aren't the stories we're going to tell. We're going to tell stories about when we've felt life here. When we've been so impacted that it might be the story from your first visit and you're here on your 400,000th visit. Because those exist. And that's the most important part of this process, is that we have stories from long, long ago. Because if you didn't know, although I don't think anybody is still here from them, then the church was founded in 1730. There are stories from long, long ago. And there are stories that will be from today. And so those are the stories we're going to practice telling. And it's just like joys and concerns. We have to practice. Because boy, do we like to talk about what's wrong. I'm not sure why, but we just do. Maybe because it feels fixable. And I hate to tell you, but some of what we're going through, some of what churches are going through, isn't fixable like that. And it's not because of the pandemic. It was happening long before. So one of the things we're going to do, and the reason we have a campfire is because what do you do around a campfire? You sit and you tell stories, right? So I want that to remind you when you see our campfire and you see our chairs and you see them here and you see them there and you see them in our logo, we have a little fire, right? That's all to remind you that we are going to tell stories to one another, and we're going to think of the times where we were just bursting bursting with energy. And so what I want to let you know is if you already are bursting with energy because this just, is so exciting, there are these little sheets up here. They have our picture that didn't look like a picture to any of you, but that's okay. They have our picture, and there's some pens, and if you start to feel stories coming up and you're willing to share, I invite you to start doing that. And you can put them right in our mailbox. And you can put the flag up, so I know there's mail in our mailbox. And then we'll start hanging them up here to start framing our stories. And we'll do lots of this, like you'll be invited to formally do this once we get into our group process, but there's no reason why we can't start practicing now, because I think I'm going to give Amanda her key.
We are going, heaven knows where we are going. We know within we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there. We know